Have you ever dreamed about this moment? You know the one I'm talking about. The one where you walk out of your workplace, you just told your boss that you're sick of his BS and you feel on top of the world. The sun is on your face, it's warm outside, and you're looking freedom straight in the eye. But then you remember, you have water bills, Venmo requests, electricity bills, mortgages, car loans, food, student loans, and then, well, crap. Never mind. Hey friends, Vincent here, and my goal is to help you achieve freedom through personal finance and self-improvement. And today I want to share some of the biggest regrets that I have from quitting my corporate job last year. If you want to learn why I quit after watching this video, I'll leave a link in the description down below. We're currently all living during a period called the Great Resignation, where everyone and their dogs are quitting their jobs and talking about it online, myself included. And you think from all this buzz it'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy, but there are some painful moments behind what you just see on social media that no one talks about. So let me be the first. Despite what people make it out to seem, it's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's compromise that moves us along. Sorry, I don't like Maroon 5, but that song is really catchy. Don't worry, I'm not gonna sing anymore, but first, let's talk about my biggest regrets, because there are some times when it gets very challenging, and then I'll share what I love about quitting, and then I'll reflect on the entire process and talk about whether or not it was worth it in the end. So I'm a planner, right? I like to think through everything and make sure that I'm prepared before I do stuff. It's like the motto where you prepare for the worst, but you hope for the best. And it's sort of good in a corporate environment because you have a team and someone always vaguely knows what's gonna happen. And there's a process to everything and it flows. But now that I'm starting my own business, this YouTube channel, I have no idea what I'm doing and I'm facing crazy imposter syndrome. One regret I have from quitting is losing this sense of security in that I don't know what is next for me. And in a weird way, not knowing what I'm doing is kind of freeing, like letting the dogs out. That was another song reference, by the way, classic 2000s. But with this freedom comes uncertainty that is constantly in the back of your mind. Is this the right move to make? Will this succeed or fail? I always have some self-doubt, and then there's always the next obstacle to overcome. But this time, it's something that you have to face alone. You don't have a team behind you. And it's humbling in the sense that it's a slap in your face to remind you that you don't know everything, and there's so much out there for you to learn. And the more that you actually learn, the more you become aware of how much you don't know. And this makes me feel like an imposter at times, that I fooled everyone into thinking that I know what I'm doing. But the truth is, I don't. There's no playbook for being an entrepreneur or a YouTuber. Everything is unstructured and uncharted. And what's strange is that the more success that I get, the more views and more subscribers, the more I feel like an imposter. The more pressure, the higher expectations that I might not ever be able to reach. When you think of quitting and doing your own thing, you probably imagine a super cool dude, driving some Lambos, taking private jets, and meeting really awesome wealthy investors. But that's not reality. In reality, it's just me, sitting in a chair in front of my desk and computer, an empty room for 10 to 12 hours a day. And it gets lonely sometimes. I mean, I'm an introvert, so I'm generally fine with being alone. I can be by myself for days on end, but sometimes you just miss the banter that you have with your coworkers. Like you're talking crap about some silly thing that someone did in a meeting. And when you work for yourself, it kind of goes like this. Oh my God, dude, did you see this article that... Oh, I forgot there's no one there. Yeah, you no longer have those walks to get your coffee with your favorite work buddies, no more random hangouts by someone's table because everyone is bored. But I think that my biggest regret is that I'm constantly worried that my luck will eventually run out. Like sure, one video might do well, but I'm thinking, are people actually interested in what I have to say, or are they just watching because it's a trendy topic? Do people actually think that I'm funny and entertaining, or are they just watching for my killer vocals and my godlike singing ability? That was a joke, by the way. I have a singing voice of a toad. Although I always say failing is a great learning opportunity, and I still 100% believe it, there are different levels of failing. It could be something really small, where you can learn from it and grow, and no big deal. But what if it's a massive failure? Sure, I'm gonna learn from it, but it's gonna hurt. A lot. And when that happens, then what would I do? I mean, I'd probably start something else, but how long would that last? And that, my friends, welcome to my brain roller coaster called the Cyclone Thunder Loop of Fear. Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the vehicle at all times. But, and this is a strong but, my favorite things about quitting vastly, and I mean vastly, outweigh the regrets that I have. And I'll share what they are in a bit. But first, here's the framework that I used before I quit. And I always knew I was going to experience these fears and regrets before I quit, but it was this framework this thought process that helped me push through with my decision. Jeff Bezos coined it the regret minimization framework, but I used it before he made it so officially sounding gross. And it's pretty simple and easy to follow too. Here, let's listen to Jeff describe it. Can I call him Jeff? Just a bit of background first. He was deciding if he should quit his job on Wall Street to start his own business. And well, take it away, Jeff.
So I wanted to project myself forward to age 80 and say, okay, now I'm looking back on my life. I want to have minimized the number of regrets I have. I knew that when I was 80, I was not going to regret having tried this. I knew that if I failed, I wouldn't regret that. But I knew the one thing I might regret is not ever having tried.
Before I get into my absolute favorite things about quitting my job that I'm sure you'll resonate with, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you turn that like button into a beautiful black, subscribe, and ring the notification bell because all this, it really helps out with the channel. Obviously, my favorite thing is that I can show up to work however I want. I haven't brushed my teeth or washed my face in days. Ah, bliss. Just kidding. I think we can all agree that most finance influencers, whether it be on TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram, are sketchy and scammy. You don't know who you can trust or whether they're giving good or bad advice, and many of them don't even have a background in finance. And that's one of the reasons that I started this channel, to, in a way, help solve this problem. I have a degree in economics and I worked in finance for a few years, and I wanted to take my skill set and teach you not only about financial freedom, but also everything that relates to it. The mindset, the strategies, and probably the most important, the struggles that other people don't talk about. My favorite thing about quitting is that I'm now directly contributing to something larger than myself, and I'm hopefully solving a problem by being able to give away knowledge for free on YouTube to the people that need it most. And my aspirations don't just end here on YouTube. One cool thing about being an entrepreneur is that I can create my own opportunities, and one of my goals is to start an after-school program or something like that that can teach students at a young age about personal finance so they can learn not just that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, thank you high school, super applicable and useful, but also about savings and investing and about financial freedom. But at the end of the day, other than having the opportunity to help you, my other favorite thing about quitting is that it forces me to become a better me. Because I work for myself, I have a bit more flexibility with my schedule than when I was grinding for 50 to 80 hours a week in corporate America. I can allow myself a healthier lifestyle, create a reasonable exercise routine, stick to it, and be able to spend more time with friends and family. I can eat healthier, learn more, and overall experience the world in a new way. And I hope that having this flexibility, I can translate it into creating more valuable content for you so that I can help just even one more person learn more about personal finance. If I could quit again, I would do it in a heartbeat. My mental, physical, and emotional health are so much better now. But I do want to acknowledge that I know not everyone has the privilege where it's possible to quit. I'm fortunate enough to have been working since high school, been saving my money since then. I'm young, I'm healthy, and I built enough of a safety net to help me take this leap. But not everyone is in as fortunate situation as I am. Sometimes I do wonder if I quit my corporate job too early. I see my friends getting promoted, raises, and bragging on LinkedIn about their careers, and I can't help but imagine what my life would be like if I stayed and continued the grind. I'm just kidding. I never have those thoughts. I'm significantly happier now, but just because I'm happier, it doesn't mean that quitting is always right for you. One question to ask yourself when you're thinking about quitting is simply why? Make sure you have the right reasons on why you're quitting, and make sure that you're running towards something rather than running away from something. But with all that said, do not, and I repeat, do not ever even think about quitting until you watch this video. Trust me, it's a really important one, and you might be making the biggest mistake of your life if you quit without keeping these things in mind. It helped me, and I'm positive it helped you too.